Hey, what's up, y'all? This is my review of The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. Definitely a good book. I enjoyed it. Glad I started reading the series. I've heard a lot of good things about the series. Definitely gave off a lot of vibes of The Lord of the Rings and Fellowship of the Ring, which is okay. Nothing wrong with that. Um, Especially for the first half. A lot of similarities. There's the two rivers and Emmons Field, which seem pretty similar to the Shire and Hobbiton, however you say that. And there's these people that live in these small towns, and then these strangers come and whisk them away to get them away from evil, and they have to go confront this big bad enemy, and a lot of similarities. But around the halfway point, I feel like the book finally took off. It really kind of broke away from the whole Lord of the Rings kind of vibes. And before I get any further, I'd like to say that I read the audiobooks, and I enjoyed that there was a second narrator around this point that came in. I want to say it's Michael Kramer and Kate Redding that do the audiobooks, and I was super happy that when I first heard the second narrator come in. I hope they do that with every book. But once they finally split off, and you've got Egwene and Perrin were doing their thing with the Way of the Leaf people, and they ran into the White Cloaks and had a confrontation there. And you had Matt and Rand doing their thing. Nynaeve followed them all the way from the Two Rivers and Emmons Field. She seems pretty fiery. And there's a lot of characters, a lot going on. This is the first book in a long series, so I know you're not going to know everything about every character. I'm just trying to get the basics down. I know Perrin is a slow and methodical thinker who likes to think things through and not make rash decisions. I know you got Egwene, who is basically wanting to go and be Aes Sedai when she realizes she has the ability to channel. You've got, Rand and Matt, who seem like very good friends that are getting into trouble, doing their thing. Matt seems like he's a bit of a mischievous guy. Tom was a super interesting character, at least I thought. He seems like a type of character who has maybe not a lot on the outside, on the surface, but inside I feel like he's going to have a really good backstory, and I'm really interested to hear more about that. And big fan of Loyal, the Ogier. I love the voice that Michael Kramer does for him, really deep voice. So big fan. I'd like to see more of Loyal in the upcoming books. I'm sure there will be. I'm very interested to learn more about the Ogier and their ways. A lot of stuff put out there for a lot of seeds planted, I'm guessing, for again, I know it's a long series, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot more you learn about the characters, but I think in the first book, you're not really meant to know everything about the characters, of course. You're going to learn more about them in the upcoming books. So learning that Moraine is Aes Sedai, and Lan is this... Lan, who I thought was just some bodyguard, he seems a lot more than that. You end up learning, I believe, he's maybe the rightful king to some sort of nation far off in the borderlands or something like that. But he gave it up all away to go and be with Moraine. I that's at least what I took away from it. But all of these characters who I thought were just kind of there, they ended up being a lot more than that. And you really start to learn more about that. Again, after that halfway point, when you start to get more perspectives and you get to learn who these characters really are. And the ending was nice. It was a little confusing, honestly. You've got characters coming in like Forsaken. I wasn't sure what the Forsaken were, but I knew they were bad guys. And they end up taking them out with mysterious magic of some sort. Rand is the Dragon Reborn, I guess. He doesn't want to tell anyone. They find the Horn of Valir. I am not too sure what all of these things are at this point. But I don't think, again, you're supposed to. So I really thought this was a strong entry. It's got my interest. I'm definitely intrigued. I want to keep reading. I know it's a super long series, but I'm glad I started it. And yeah, that's my review. All right. Thanks. Smell you later.